Hello boys, it's me, Cool Yoshi here. Welcome back to my 100% playthrough of Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition for Nintendo Switch. In the last video we left off, well, what else can I say? Doing more adventure maps, because that seems to be the only thing we have to do right now. We're on the Twilight map right now, with 86% complete. We left off trying to get rid of some of the Twilight, and I think getting rid of the Twilight is the name of our... Oh wait, yeah, that's right. Now I remember. We're trying to get all the costumes so we can change the characters into those. So on that note, let's go over here first so we can get that. And yeah, so we're gonna do this. We have to defeat the disorderly forces with just Volga. And this time it is just Volga. So we have to actually get to have no choice but to use them. Not too worried, Volga is a very strong character, that shouldn't take too long. Obviously the Twilight map does add in more difficult things you have to do to the missions. However, they're not too bad to typically deal with. And because it's the disorderly forces, we get to deal with, of course, these stupid missions that split off from the rest of the pack. I think if we take out all the forces on here side, that will make it a little bit easier. Also, we get to see Volga's history basically. Because, yeah, we did get that as well. I don't know where to get a lot of the troops, so until I can figure out something, I'm just gonna start taking keeps. Again, Sheik, how can I be your ally if I already took you out? Anyways, there we go. Alright. This is just under the orange rank, so we don't need to do much more with the explosions. I just used a few. In fact, just probably doing this should be more than enough, and then we could just focus on either taking keeps. Need to take... I just realized this. I realized what the thing is saying in my guide now, and it says Northmost Keep. And what they mean by Northmost, I think they mean the actual base on top. So yeah, we're gonna have to go over there later. But now that we've gotten hulls, we need to start taking out the other captains so we can lure out the enemy commander. And I assume we're gonna Reds first, since we had to do this in a different order, so Commander will probably be defeated first for that reason. This should be either Town Center Keep, or nope, that's not the right keep. We need the Town Center Keep for this, so it's gonna be probably here. How's that at risk? I feel like I tapped that like multiple times. No way, I get it. I think a Skulltulas spawned in as I was taking it. Did not see it. Whatever. And yes, I still use the magic bomb to take these keeps because it's easier than just trying to take it yourself half of the time. And it does save quite a bit of time. Here I am talking about speedrun when this still is, in the end, just a full-time actual playthrough. But I am trying to use speedrun strategies to make it quicker. Oh my gosh, this team didn't even need my help. They just took out the... guy down here without my help at all. Alright then. I didn't see if I got the chest or not. We'll be able to check later. I just realized it's both Fi and Giriam this time, so we have the good sword facing off against the evil sword. They're both in the same battle here, that's funny. Anyways, we took the enemy base. That's not much of a problem anymore. No, the other commander is gone. Okay, yeah, well that confirms that we definitely got that. So now we just need to pop the fairy food, which is gonna be in the other enemy base, the rogue base. Because when it mentions Northmost Keep, it probably means the rogue base. We could always check the others just to be fine. Oh. Well, I don't care, because I'm walking right into this Gipto anyway. Name. I'll just defeat it now instead. Why not? Don't want to ever risk our base really falling. Now, as C1, you would typically ignore those kinds of fades, but because it's typically still my first time doing most of these sessions, I think it's better that we just take it out to not risk it. I count now to get in trouble, right after I leave. Alright, there, we got our food. Now let's remove the obstacle that is 5 because she keeps calling me an obstacle, which is not funny. I forget what she says in the original game. All I know is the characters do say different voice lines slightly in the original Wii U version. Alright. Well, that was quick. If we're quick enough, we might actually be done with this map, and then we might be able to get done with the Termina Field map as well. I was about to say Terror Field instead of Termina Field. That would have been weird. Okay, we got his Twilight outfit now. Alright. So that means we are done with that officially. We could link it based off of this or do other stuff, but I think I want to show off a different secret first, and for that reason, we're actually just gonna start getting Tears of Light again for no reason, because I want to. Okay, I'm joking. Obviously, I'm getting it for a specific reason. If anybody is wondering what that hidden item is, well, it's actually a completely separate item card. But it exclusively only comes out when you've cleared all of the Twilight from the map entirely, including ones you've already beaten. And we'll be showing that off towards the end. But before we can do that, we need to actually get all of our Twilight, Tears of Light to actually remove those. There's even the potential we could potentially bring them back later on, and if that happens, we have to go way back and do all everything over again. I like how Young is my most powerful character, and yet we can't use our... Let's just use Double Wake, by the way. I don't care. In the end, this is a KO mission. We don't really get to use Young very often in these KO missions, because I typically want to try and level up other characters, but I guess I may as well show you how broken he is. Probably wait for a bit more troops before doing this, so we'll start by immediately taking out Hoka right off the bat. Go. Also start by taking out a Transfer Captain right off the bat, so we can get somewhat closer to getting Focus Magic, and then we will just activate Magic and go ham. As I showed in, I believe this was like episode 30-ish or something, like one of the first builds I showed before going back to the adventure map, since I used it as the initial way to grind my characters up. Yeah, it's actually the second best map for grind experience. Contrary to my popular belief for best speed farming level, that's not actually true. The Termina Field's actually better later on. I just happened to say it like that before because I think it was really good. There we go, doing the back manipulation properly. I want to do the other attack, and it keeps doing the other command instead. A little weird, but whatever. Get rid of that transport captain so we can have more magic to work with. Let's just do this right now, be safe. Whatever, that works. There we go. Alright. As you might have guessed, if you can time this right, you can basically get the magic to last forever, which is kind of broken. If not very broken. Oh jeez, I didn't even notice that this guy is stored by a whole bunch of commanders. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes into trouble because of this. That is what it is. At least now we see it in it. We can deal with them. There we go. I called it. Figured he was gonna at least go into trouble after how many dead enemies are attacking him. Need to play this a little bit smarter and maybe try to go for those captains first. Especially this one over here. Got him. And now you can see why Lake is so broken, why he's so probably the easiest character to level up to 255, because you just keep on getting the magic back once you have your Stady Mastery for 3 special attack gauges. You just keep doing the standing special to transfer your special into magic, and it basically just gives you indefinite magic uses. It also makes special outs in plus a little bit more useful, because then you can use it to do other stuff. That's pretty cool. And then when you start running out of magic, oh, I could just magic in between casts anyway. And we get the captain jars when we're really, really close to failing. That way we continue to get magic back, and basically lets our focus spirit last pretty much the entire battle, which is very broken. In fact, if you are still doing these early on, it's probably the best character to use for these. Anyways, my thing wasn't filled up completely. Decided to get that so that way I could give my Cucco Sphere had a bit more of a chance to fill up. As long as you get it before the timer is up on the focus here, you can keep keen for a very long time. I think I need to go over to the other side now, which has a bit more weird stuff. Alright. This does start to get a little bit slow by the it's a 2-minute mark left, so it's typically also where we go in and start picking up the magic jars to slowly help our piece up. About to pump it up to 11 now, as we get our all the enemies coming towards us again. Once that happens, they can get a lot more troops that way. Oh, thank you, Link. You're actually coming with us this time. He almost never listens to it. He almost always stays in that one spot. But he's decided to come with me, so now all the troops will come huddle together this time around, which is really nice. Alright, let's get the magic jar that time. Not sure if we'll actually last the full timer. Well, to be fair, we didn't, because we didn't even start it on the right timing before. We'll see, I guess. Knock this guy back a bit so he's not stacked up. That'll mean he uses magic later, like right now. Oh yeah, the range on this is pretty good too, so you can just save a long time. I'll just use this so that I last the full timer, and there we go. We got probably a record for AOs on that mission. Did not take long at all. There's our heart container for him. Where'd the magic go? It was there, and then it wasn't all of a sudden. Alright. But yeah. I honestly do not know which order to do these things in after that. Maybe if I'm smarter, I can just go for other setups. But I don't know. I just wanted to go for the Tears of Right just because I feel funny like that. In fact, we have a chance to clear out the left side of the map. So I've decided, well, somewhat the first 4 rows on the left side of the map. For starters, to make that easier. I know we've been going around a lot of different spots, but... What? Oh wait, I thought this was one of those maps. Let's just go in then. We have to put an end to the enemy's divisive plan. Or I guess it's decisive. I don't know if it's decisive or divisive. Or something. That's probably not even a for all I know. Anyway, it's a decisive battle mission with Zeldas. I should just call it Divisible Mission, because it's with the dividing enemies. Oh yeah, that's right. He still has that who's bright green in this bit. This might be one of his weirder covers, because he almost kind of looks like that one statue that I don't quite recall. Looks like. And he's using this cover. Anyway, I want to try and get some weapons, so if we take out these Gorons first, then go for Zelda, we can maybe get some weapon drops that we need, although this is still not the hardest, so we could potentially not see any level 4 plus weapon drops. I'm just doing this because I can. Also didn't use weapon plus because it's not really worth it. When I get to the hero maps, I'll probably just use weapon drop in every one of those missions if I see one, so I can try and get better weapon drops. Because with weapon drop, you can get a lot of weapons to potentially spawn in. Like I said, these missions are the best for farming not only weapons, but also for farming materials off a specific character you need them for. In the original game, the Twilight areas are where the first decisive battles will happen. Alright, now we get to use this a couple of times, actually. First we use this to get rid of the switch and unlock a new award, and then we dispel the Twilight to continue on. Now we have to learn the key to a balanced attack with Zelda, apparently. Right, she still has multiple gloomy rapiers from before. Slowly but surely, I've been trying to progress my characters now. I finished getting them all to 160. I'm trying to get them to level 200 now to prepare for the missions. Well, we don't have many specials. Okay, we both got attacked with that at the very least. So we basically have to do enough damage for them to put them in a weak health together. That way they cannot heal each other. So while you're expected to use an attack that hits them all at the same time, it's not actually required if you just attack them directly. But it gets a bit trickier once they start putting in Dark Sias, for instance. Alright. Okay, that works. Now we attack them. That works. Alright. Oh, of course. What else could it be other than Dark Widow at the last boss? This is a little bit trickier now, because, like, as you saw there, that one just literally dodged our attack. Oh, never mind. He got hit from the back end. I didn't know that could happen. Okay, these enemies are severely more tankier. So assuming this doesn't put it into there, yeah, we're gonna just use Special Fountain Plus. It's not the fastest strategy, but it's the easiest way to get them damaged enough so that they cannot heal one another. Otherwise, it'll take forever to deal with. I'm just gonna keep using specials, though, because they're just gonna keep attacking me and interrupting my attacks. I like how we're not even defeating them at the exact same time, but we just needed to attack them enough that they didn't heal instead. Alright. That worked out. I hope that Zelda's still using the weaker version of her weapon. She has stronger versions of it, we just haven't been able to use her enough to get them active. Obviously, I don't like to show weapon grinding or stuff in this video more than once because it just kind of gets tedious. So, this is the only one battle left on the icon map, so I guess we're doing it next. There's nothing here, so we could choose which character we want. Fi's the stronger character, so we'll go ahead and pick her for now. Not saying anything to Miriam or anything, he just happens to be the weakest character choice we could pick in this mode, at least level-wise. So we'll just instead, because that'll be easier. And just like before, we have to defeat all the captains to protect the bomb chews. I'm gonna put the one on the left first, if it's closer to an enemy. Alright. Not good, I see, Bill. I know you want to act menacingly, but we're going to take you out before you can do anything. Alright. Alright. Of course, previously in the other bomb tube missions, enemies like these moblins would actually count as enemies that would stop the bomb tube previously, and so you would have to actually defeat them too. The Skulltulas from the second level of Legend mode actually made it extra tough because that meant you have to clear literally everything, not just the captains. Okay. Got a little bit more experience just doing that, so that was cool. There we go. Alright, that was that. So none of the teleporter battles even have items to collect. That's so weird. I wish they had added at least a heart container to them or something. Guess they just couldn't fill it up in time, so they had to move stuff around a bit. Alright, well, I guess now we're going for the rest on this row, since we can finish that row too. Like I was initially trying to do. Playing this map. Let's just go into this one then. Defeat the commander of 2 armies. So we get to do 2 armies at once again. I'm just gonna look up where this is in a minute. Oh, this is actually the level 1 one, and we have to use Tingle, alright. One good thing about looking at the specific icon on the map, even if it doesn't have items, is it tells us where to get the... Not only tells us where to get the treasures, but what character we actually have to use in battle to get stuff done. Great, so we have to deal with 2 enemy commanders simultaneously. Definitely one of the more tedious battles to do, because it could be very tricky to figure out which one you should defeat first. we go up here, we can take out the ender here pretty much right away and never have to go up this way again for a while. And in the meanwhile, we can get stuff like this Dwarf Raffle Face Keep for our fairy top, or fairy glow, or whatever it is. Whoa! Alright. Okay, some of the red mooses are getting a little bit in, but right now we're kind of need to take out this commander here. I think initially you're supposed to balance out the forces by defeating the stronger ones to... That way they don't become super stronger. Wow. See, this is what happens, by the way, when the forces become super broken. They start becoming very strong, and then you have to just kind of suss out who to actually defeat and who to not defeat. It's just so weird. Didn't help that I didn't see until a little bit too late that the red mooses were already in here. Of course, I needed to go somewhat fast at least, and defeating that commander was the best way of doing that. Thankfully, it wasn't too bad, just somewhat bad. Doesn't matter what captains die, I pretty much have to focus on defeating the oops that are in here first. We may as well take out absolutely every one of them, since they're already boosted from before. If we can take them out, then that makes it a lot easier to get through. Of course, some of them could still receive reinforcements yet. We still also have that blinking red commander that we need to defeat to lure out the other enemy to begin with. Well, we'll just go ahead and defeat I Am Thief right now then, I guess. Oop. Now we're advancing towards the base again. I don't care how strong these enemies are or how not strong they are, I'm still defeating it the same way as what I did before. Okay, we need Fairy Fountain, but we also need to defeat this commander over to the right. Give me a minute, honey, Captain. I'm gonna save you now. There we go. Now they pursued reinforcements again. Oh great, we get this shenanigans again, where the commander goes straight into the enemy base at A's again. At least we got most of the items we already need now. We'll just intercept and take out the other troops then, we should be fine. Again, I mostly played safe because a lot of the troops did get boosted by the other stuff. It's when they get boosted and morale boost that they can really take your base really quickly. In any other scenario, the base wouldn't even hit half health half of the time, but the scenario, that's complete opposite. Instead, does it half health because of personal, because he's doing that something else. But that was fine, as long as we made sure to actually protect our base, we were gonna be fine anyway. Now we'll defeat the Hunties, which will make the enemies withdraw, and then we can just extreme press to get rid of this boss, which is Zelda. Who is also now boosted because of the we got earlier. She's using a run weapon. That looks to be either Sheik's weapon or his weapon, one of the two. This is a mechanic initially. Yeah, it's Sheik. Yeah, that was Sheik 100%. They'll still look like the specific commander, but they'll actually fight more like a different instead. It's so weird that that's only something that the enemies can do. I wish I could be Zelda and use Sheik's power. That would be cool, actually. Maybe I should bring in an update that allows that to happen. Well, it would probably be very hard to update this game, considering they probably made it with the intention that just put in all the DLC and call it done. Alright, we got that roll done. We got roll done. We're not really, we don't really have much else to do. I guess I'll start clearing the map again. Right. Alright. We have to fight as a warrior of light according to the game, but that's not gonna happen. Instead, we're gonna fight as Sia because we seem to have much of a choice. Did we already have the Twilight? Yeah, I'll just make sure that that's being used, I guess. Alright, then. Alrighty, then. We're actually getting pretty close to the end. I think if we follow this based off of our containers and whatnot, we can probably get what we need from that. So, yeah. What is this one? Just Twilight I guess. And the only thing that's different is what you actually receive in here. Other than that, we just need to take out upper level east in the keeps, but the heap seems not tough in a way. Oh, no, okay. I thought it was the Save the Allied Forces mission. Then again, it would have done a different theme for that. Nope. Instead, it is the Fighting Has Begun in Various Locations mission. Very tedious, because yeah, this is better known as the mission where the hiding captains seem to just not stop dying. That seems to be a thing that always regularly happens. You can potentially save them early, but if you want to really maximize that, you pretty much have to know where you need to save them and move very, very quickly. I think saving them all pretty much requires that you have 2 players. Either that, or you just say, we're gonna defeat every single icy big pull on this map if we have to. Of course, we can only save so many, so we'll just start by taking out the enemies instead. As each enemy you defeat causes their morale to briefly go up, but then drop back down because we keep defeating them. So that's really the best way of doing this. Okay. Didn't even really use magic much there. Oh. Surprise, surprise. We're protecting the Princess of Twilight once again. In their own, Alice. Not surprising at all. Oh, we have a healer set now. This is new. Okay, so we don't see these guys too often. These are healers. They will heal up the enemies over time if you give them a chance to. Okay. The ones that are in trouble are over there, and yet we put these ones first because we're trying to... These guys... will again cause all their morale to drop back down again when we have our stuff done. As I said, it's really hard to not have them just constantly gaining stuff. So the more captives you defeat ideally, the easier this becomes. Well, this is lower level east. We need the upper level east now. It's just that. So need to defeat there, so we blur out the enemy commander. Well, on the better note, we at least got a lot of boosts from taking out all those icy deads now. We should also have a little bit of those talismans to work with. I knew Icy Big Pose was one of the items we potentially needed. Maybe I should have used Material Master instead of Plus at the beginning. What I mean by that, I meant like instead of Magic Fountain Plus, use Material Master Plus for these guys. Since we kind of still need their materials, although I'm pretty sure once we get far enough, we can just probably unlock the better Icy Big Gains on anyways, so I think if we just take them out naturally, we should be fine. It was probably a minute trying to dive right into the commander. Just like the other commanders have been so far. Taking a really weird route for some reason. I personally go this route because it is way faster. It's just me. Oh great, we're fighting against the against our half. Yeah, we're fighting against our other half, which is Lana. Because why not? He hasn't taken out Lana enough times in these maps already as it is. I keep doing the wrong tab. There we go. That's the one I want. Alright, well there we go. Of course, because we were facing off against Lana, we got different dialogue than we would have in a different battle. Alright, let's look for a challenge battle that we can do. So we can maximize our time. Because if we can do this properly, then we'll be done with another map. That will make it 5 maps we've completely 100%ed. Speaking of which, I guess I should check Skulltulas next. Oh great, one of the next missions is a Skulltula mission if we choose to go for it. I have a better idea. Let's just clear out some of the Twilight. What I mean by some, I mean by most of, not all of it. As you might guess, the Twilight Realm is limited. You also can't really use this. In fact, if you try to use it on a map other than the Twilight map, to ensure that it doesn't bug out, it straight up just doesn't let you use the item. Just to make sure you're able to actually use it on the right map. And that one's not great either. I said there was a challenge over here. Let's do this one. Oh boy, and it's an all attacks or devastate mission, so similar to ever. So we're ending with an all attacks or devastate mission, because that seems to be a thing we do a lot as well. That's not gonna be fun. Maybe, or not, I don't know. Because we are doing the double through setup, we might make the next video a bit longer, because I like to try and not keep the videos too short, so if I can finish a map, I will usually try to do it. Oh my goodness, I'm glad we not blocked from using item attacks on this battle, otherwise it would be really rough. Though, come to think of it, whoa. Oh, you can attack them while they're still in the air. Okay. So if you attack them in the air, you can still hit them. That's cool. Okay, Airfists can be somewhat tricky. Obviously, they have, I believe, 1 or 2 quick attacks. He's also kind of a weird character to do this with, but at least she moves while she attacks, so she's fine enough just doing her normal attacks. Like how previously I was like, oh, I don't know what to do here, so I just used the bow and arrow on absolutely everything. Now I'm like, oh, I realized that this captain is not that bad, and this character is actually decently good, so I'll just use basic attacks instead, because the one problem with the bow and arrow is it could have you... Oh, I'm not going to take that. It's too early. I get it. You don't actually have to take no damage on these, but I should just take this guy right away. I should still have the bow and arrow on anyway. Now keep in mind, these are not actually full one-shot missions. You saw that didn't really remove my health too much. Instead, it just brought me down to 1/4 of the heart. As long as it's not a no-only mission. See what I mean, by the way? Oh, I am going around in all sorts of circles. I just realized, yeah, see, they do have quick attacks. Alright. Never mind, I'm not playing around anymore. I was trying to think about whether they had a quick attack or not, but every other time I've seen them, they just go up into the air instead. Immediately. But anyways, as I was saying, the problem with the bow and arrow is the small delay you have before you can actually fire off a shot, so if you miss with the bow, that can leave you at risk of getting attacked. Basic attacks, see, will keep moving, making it harder for the enemies to actually hit them. Oh yeah, there's also that. I guess they could dodge your attacks. So maybe air pulse are a little bit worse than I thought. I should probably just use base shots instead. Well, I'll defeat at least the last one with the basic attack, and that's about it. There's some of the easier. There's the other ones that don't seem to do much. I can kind of just taunt them instead. And then some characters just have ranged attacks, so you can just use that instead of using the bow and arrow, which is good, because obviously we had to deal with missions where we couldn't even use item attacks on those missions to begin with. Thankfully that time it was pretty straightforward. First time we failed at in a while though. I like to try not to take any damage just because it's cool. I know you don't actually have to get the A rank on these. It just seems like you had to back in the original game in particular. Alright, still actually have a bit more time, so do this challenge as well, assuming it is a challenge battle. Unless it ends up being something like, nope, okay. It's not what I thought it was. It's defeat giant bosses in time, which is very easy, and I'm gonna start bringing in some slightly strong boss millers here. Who do I actually want? I'm gonna bring in Yuga. We haven't seen enough of him, and then we're gonna bring in. I'll just put in Voga, why not? We'll probably use both of those characters versus using fire, because it'll take forever to defeat the prison without one of them. But it looks like we'll be starting with Voga first, because he's closer, and he gets to actually attack the prison anyway. Right then. Okay, I have a better idea. Yuga, you can just go straight over to the next boss. Save time. Then we can actually do a different strategy to reset the prison's mechanic. So I forgot to mention, you don't just have to use the same thing to make the imprison mechanic. So like when he is doing the charge attack, if he's not defeated, one thing you can do instead is switch to a character and then switch back, and then the prison will immediately be back up on his feet like nothing ever happened. The reason why this happens is because we are deloading him completely. When he deloads, the game doesn't know what to do, and so it cancels the animation of his attack he was about to use entirely, so he just goes back to sitting still, and you can take him out a lot more quickly using that. It's actually another reason why I made Yuga go over there, because now he can do the reset trick. And the same also goes with other bosses. So I do this for probably Goma as well, because then I'll again immediately pop back up. You can also do this to sometimes reset their attack cycle. So if Goma does an attack you don't want him to do, you can just that and reset. But why would we do that? We could just do that instead. And no. Anyways, as you might have guessed, I do try to use characters that you typically would only use on 1-2 maps otherwise, because it's fun to at least show them off. Because the only other time we're gonna see them is when to go back to their specific maps, which we're getting close to doing. Oh, there is one more we can do up here, but that would probably be pushing it a bit too much. So we'll set up by this mission now. This will be the next mission we do. We'll focus on Harry items first, so we can make sure all those get cleared out. One of them we did miss in a particular mission before, which is weird because I feel like I got this one already. Yeah, actually, come to think of it, didn't I just fight this already? I have a better idea. I will show the treasure and then show the end of the battle, and I'll actually end the video. Instead, we're gonna do this battle again, and then we're gonna show the end of the battle later, and we'll cut to the end so we can show you guys what I acquired. So I'll see you guys in a minute. Right, we spawned back into Upper Level East, which I somehow missed during this check, so I'll go ahead and open the chest now. Got some fairy coin, and I'll see you guys at the end of the mission. Alright, just made it to the results screen now. Let's see what we actually did get. After we get rid of all these not water drain skills really quick. I honestly don't know what we need on this right now. Oh, we have hasty attacks on Rudo. That's right. I almost forgot. She needs a stronger weapon as well. Okay, well, yeah, we're waiting on her to get a slightly better weapon for that to happen. Wizroll, we already have the best version of his weapon. So we'll just get rid of everything else so we don't get confused. Okay, we're getting some more talismans. That's really good. Those are things we really need. And yeah, I think we briefly saw what we just got. If I switch the map like this should help me make sure that we get all the items. So yeah, we're gonna go here though first though for the Skulltulas. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed it. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll see you guys now in the next video. Peace.